we missed the last episode, which would have been a wrap-up of our challenge in the Rimfire, what is it called? Rimfire Reckoning?
That's the one.
The Rimfire Reckoning, we were going to shoot against each other, and
Yes.
and the winner, loser, was going to clean the other's guns. The loser, yeah. And that went down real well because I got food poisoning
House on fire.
and didn't get to go to it. So I guess technically you won.
Well, you could always put it off to the next Rimfire match.
Rematch.
Nah,
That's-
bullshit.
Rematch.
Rusty missed less. You lose.
Yes, yes. Adjudicator third party without any involvement has decided that Andy's cleaning. No,
Yeah.
let's put it off to the next match. I
Yeah,
like that.
let's
We'll
do
do
that.
that. All right, good move. Having said that, you've come off a hot streak. But then from there, the next day after the Rimfire Reckoning, I went to Brisbane, and then they went into lockdown.
Well,
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you,
So I came back and stayed in quarantine and was meant to be in quarantine for 14 days to finish off Monday night after the PRS. Fortunately enough, they opened the borders early and I got out. But 5 days. 5 days I spent basically 5 days straight on TikTok. And that was it.
wow.
That's all I
Better
did.
off for it.
That explains it explains a lot.
That does explain a lot, actually. Anyway, that's all right. So a few things didn't quite go to plan, but here we are back. And then the PRS did run. The Ignition Custom Minardo meltdown happened, and well, Butters one was an interesting story of the weekend. But more interesting or more surprising, perhaps, is the fact that you boys were actually drawn on the Saturday night. I
Yeah.
mean, Butters, you had on tiebreaker, but you guys end up on the same points.
Yeah, surprised me.
Yeah, so
No, you shot well.
Butters, what happened on Sunday, and Andy, what happened on Saturday?
That is a good question.
Why did you shoot so well?
I actually don't know.
Why didn't you back it up?
Because
No, I want to know how he got there.
I know the Rimfire match I did.
How
was
did you
that
do well?
A couple of weeks beforehand.
There was
I got like 18th or 16th or something out of 30, and I was like, yeah, well, that seems about average, isn't it? Like about right for
Yeah,
the
'cause-
amount I've shot and practiced.
to be fair, your skills have been diminishing over the last year, and you haven't been doing so well in the club matches.
No, not at all.
And
Or
then
has everyone else got getting better and you're plateauing?
Well, I'm
That
just
went over his head.
no. Other way, everyone's shaking their cobwebs out, and
he
I'm-
doesn't know what plateau means. That's the problem.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, I surprised myself actually.
Yeah.
I thought I was like during the day. I thought I was shooting okay.
Yeah.
There was definitely areas I knew I could shoot better, and there were things like just silly mistakes, misunderstanding a few simple instructions on stages, and not shooting stages the best way I could, or rushing shots, pulling shots. So I thought I was just doing okay, and I'd end up. I went in thinking top 15 would be good, top 10 would be awesome.
Yep.
But I definitely wasn't expecting to be up there with the likes of Butters and Lucas and
On the Saturday of the stages I watched, you were shooting really well. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, I was told by Luke and a couple others that you were shooting really well,
Yeah.
and then I got the scores to just check through and make sure it was all correct, and your name was second top. I'm like, I really need to give these a look over. Make sure some button hasn't been ticked or something.
yeah, that's it. I mean, it is pretty expensive paying off all those ROs. So it's,
No, you shot well.
Yeah.
nah, cheers.
And on Sunday, the one stage I watched, you completely shagged.
That's which one was that?
The big one,
Most of them.
18 round stage.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about the match. This is going to lead us into we're going to do a stage show. For
Yeah,
those who don't
finally.
know, Butters and myself and Trent used to do a podcast.
Well, we've done one episode.
No, we did a couple.
No, it was a few.
Sure.
Yeah, we
we
did a
did a
few.
pilot and then one of the finale.
No, I think we did a couple without you knowing. And so we did a stage show, the breakdown of the stages of a particular match, and we will bring that back for this one. So without getting too deep into the details, gentlemen, first PRS match after 18 months.
It was good to be back.
It was good to be
It
back.
was, and
Yeah.
not so much to shooting, just to catch up with everyone again. So a lot of people, well, it's you guys down here get to see obviously locals, but
Yeah.
shit, I felt bloody secluded
Very
up
isolated.
north. I didn't get to see anyone really. It was really good to catch up with anyone, and above everything else, that was my favourite part of the weekend.
Yep.
Yep.
Me too. It was awesome to see, and to see for so many guys who we haven't seen each other for so long, just to pick up exactly where we left off.
Yeah.
It was
Banter.
It was banter was strong.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the shooting we didn't pick up where we left off,
No,
but the banter we did.
Definitely cobwebs in that first day.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
let's take you through it. So on Friday for practice, for those listening who are maybe thinking about shooting or whatever, what did you guys do, Andy? What did you do on Friday?
Yeah, so the I got there Friday mid morning, signed in, did all the normal sort of stuff. Then when the range opened, the 100-metre mound was chockers. So I decided with my recently acquired barrel and rough quick load development, I thought, yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that a bit later. So yeah,
Shooting little puckered holes.
yeah. Oh mate, it was all the tuna.
Oh yeah, you're
What
running
type
a
of
tuna
tuna?
now, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll talk about that in a sec actually.
Yeah, we'll
because
get onto that. That's all right.
So I pretty much went, all right, well, 100-metre mounds chockers as a lineup. So I just punched one out at, I think it was 385, hit the gong and went, yeah, it's pretty close. And then convenient.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
I hit it.
It was on the target.
so I thought,
It's a metre by metre.
yeah, that's it. Well, so I thought, while the barricade wasn't being used, I thought my time would be better off spent, just warming up on the barricade and start getting into the feel of it again. So I did that for about another 80 rounds. And then when the paper range 100-metre freed up, I jumped on that, rechecked velocity, and my barrel had actually sped up about 25 feet per second.
Okay.
So
I think it was your bullets that sped up. Barrel probably pretty stationary.
no, well that's true. Yep.
I'd be worried if it was. I had a laugh at this fella on. He was doing his. He was testing out his little tuna thing.
Yeah.
He's shooting some groups, and he goes, "Oh, Butters, come and have a look." And I had a look. And he says, "Oh, I reckon you can see it going in here into a node, and then comes out and goes back in." And then I had a look, and I said, "Oh yeah, I can see that."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, wait, I'll get my scope." And I went and got my scope. Had a little bit higher magnification, and I looked at his groups. And his first group, tiny little group, perfect, just 0.1 high, and the rest sort of a little bit more spread out. And he goes, "Oh, I think I'll go this one. It's just a little bit of horizontal, a little bit of horizontal." And I'm thinking, "You're bloody mad! Go that friggin' first one, you clown!" No, and he's whinging and whining because it was like 0.1 of a mil high, and I'm just thinking, idiot, come here, slap him around a bit, just zero your gun down one notch, and that's what he went with.
Yeah.
Speaking of idiots, I have got excited tonight and introduced the three people who we normally have three people on the show, but we've missed one. Not saying he's the idiot, I'm the idiot. But Josh is here as well, hiding in the background pressing buttons. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. Very good.
Good, mate. Now, the
Slaving away.
joy, Butters, you'll get used to this, but we can't see Josh during the episode. You
I
just
can see what's important.
this his hand.
And one finger.
Okay, whatever you're into. But Josh, this is your first PRS match. Now you didn't shoot, you filmed a lot, but how was it as a spectacle and getting involved, having been around club matches a lot?
It was really good. It was good to see the full shebang with all the sponsor stuff sitting there, and I guess a few more people than is normally at a club match that I've been to. And I guess just the level of competition was just that little bit higher. I guess it was cool to see the difference of your Friday to your Sunday, where I guess it's a bit more laughs on the Friday, but to the Sunday you
A few
can
more
still,
tears on the Sunday.
Definitely not.
you can
an
see the
outside
level
something.
kind of jumps up a little bit.
Yeah, it does get a little bit more serious over the weekend.
And you had a shot as well, didn't you, Josh?
Yeah, I had a shot of a couple, which is good.
That's right.
Did you hit anything?
I did actually.
No.
Must have been my gun.
Oh, that's all right. What about you, Butters, on Friday? How did Friday go for you, mate? What do you
Yeah.
do? You tell us your secrets that you don't want anyone to know, but you're going to tell anyway.
I rushed to the line to get on that 500-metre target first, so it was nice and fresh. But after that, I just chilled out. I shot a zero, made sure it was on, made sure nothing drastically changed. I think I put one click on right because I was a little bit left. I think it might have been just max vibration on the way down from Darwin.
Yeah.
So I zeroed my gun. It was still good at 500. Then I went and shot stuff on the barricade. Missed a target, cracked the shits. So I went prone and shot that target to work out where I was going. And then I just sort of milled about.
Yeah.
Used my 40-something low rounds that I'd allocated. And then sort of just packed it away and went off to annoy everyone else.
Fair enough.
Good strategy.
And then you came over and saw me. That's what it was.
it's
annoyed.
Sorted out your issue.
Nearly cost you on the Saturday.
Really? No, you sure will.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Saturday morning we had a pretty early start. Thanks to Travi, kicked off real early. It was 6:30 or something.
Snugging me swag.
Yeah.
Cursing at him.
No, it was good. There was 65 shooters. First time we've had all 65 shooters rock up. So it was the biggest match in Australia on record now for PRS, which was encouraging. And 30 or 28 guys who were shooting their first PRS match.
Yeah, it's great to see.
Some number around there. So that
Absolutely.
was huge, and a lot of local guys from the club. Which was brilliant. And then Saturday got into a whole stack of stages. So we won't go through all the stages. There's another podcast for that. But what was your favourite stages or most challenging stages on Saturday, gents?
I can't remember. Mental blank. Yeah.
They're at the office.
Sorry. Really, Saturday, the biggest point was that wind.
Was that wind?
It was a really good challenge.
It was a lot of wind.
It was, and it wasn't consistent. There was a lot of gusts. It certainly
that wind blew like I shot. Yeah, inconsistently.
Yeah, no, it was a big challenge. I think if there was no wind, there was a very good chance of a lot of the pointy end shooters not missing many shots at all. But that wind was a real leveler.
Yeah, certainly did make some challenges and lots of people were a little bit unsure what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean,
dealing with that.
I mean, even knowing the range a bit more than interstate guys, it still caught me out a few times as it would pick up and then completely drop off, and it was surprising even for myself. And I think Travi had done a really good job with the sort of the balance and layout of the stages in terms of skills wise. There was some that were fast paced, some were a bit slower, good array of targets and bits and pieces.
I actually really enjoyed that one that Travi had us with the set allotted time to fire one shot,
yes,
2 shots,
yep,
then 3,
yep, and then
the 2 off the deck. It was very simple.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
But it worked well.
Yep. It was 12 seconds for the first shot.
No.
Yeah.
It's 15, 12, 18, 15.
No. It was 12 seconds for the first shot, and then 15 for the second one, which was 2 shots.
2 shots.
And then 18 seconds for the third one, which was 3 shots.
And then 15.
And then whatever you had remaining.
15 seconds for prone.
Yep.
So I think that was good. That caught out a few people apparently.
There's a few people that didn't even get a shot off, unfortunately. And then there's some waiting for like 10 seconds to move to the next bench because they couldn't do anything until that buzzer went.
Yeah, you had to stay in position.
Yeah, I do remember nailing off a couple of shots and then waiting, looked up and looking at the timer, still counting. All right.
No, that was a nice simple stage, and really, the biggest point of that bloody day was the wind. Okay, Rusty.
Yeah, keep the microphone in your mouth so people can. I mean,
I'm not used to it.
Yeah, that's right.
That wind was savage. The rest of the stages were hard but fair. And a lot of people dropped a lot of shots because of the wind and a little bit of difficult stages, which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a good Saturday, good reintroduction.
Yep.
That's credit to Travi because I think that was a very difficult match to write because he had nearly half the attendees were shooting their first PRS level national match. And while a number of them were very good, we had a number of people who were shooting their first match of that kind as well. And so it's a hard balance between that. And then you've got experienced guys like yourself or both of you. Apparently, Andy's also experienced. Since, we've since found out. And Luke and Crispy and Ash and a number of others. But they're experienced guys who you don't know where they're up to.
Where they're at.
Because it's been 18 months since they've performed for a number of the guys. It's been 18 months since they've competed.
And even for those who were still doing club matches, a 2-dayer big match is completely different to a club match. Like you go to a club match, you muck around, you don't know what you're doing half the time, and you have a shot. But when you go to a proper match, and it's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, it's more like mentally, physically draining. Being like,
if you weren't knackered by the end of the day, just for the sake of being concentrating for
out in the weather and
Yeah, my lips are chapped bad from that win.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, it is definitely a different ball game than the 1 day or half day club matches. But yeah, went well.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Josh and I hung out, and he sat behind a camera for about 90% of the weekend, and I used my phone a whole stack, mostly browsing TikTok, but also from time to time I did some lives and did some photos and bits and pieces, and we got a huge amount of engagement in terms of like people asking questions during the live streams and that sort of thing, which was really encouraging. Speaking of which, we've got a question during this live stream. It says from Tom H, is Butters wearing pants?
No.
Okay, there you are. There you have your
Perfect.
answer. That explains the smell. And so we, it was really good. And we had a huge amount of people sort of watching as we went along. And Josh has ended up with far too many photos, haven't you, Josh? It's been a big challenge to get through them all.
Just all the photos, everything there was.
I think filled up every hard drive. We had to
really high quality interview with me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone got tackled during it.
I think that was every interview with you.
So you haven't changed, but no. Haven't changed at all. Yeah, very good. It was good fun. And so Saturday night came around. We had a killer barbecue dinner, which is pretty standard at Monado.
Nice. It didn't last long.
It did not last long. We hoofed that up pretty quick. And then I got shirt fronted by your mum.
Beat you.
She did, and I dropped you. So probably should explain some of that, especially that noise that Andy just made.
Jesus.
But Nick,
Still wearing pants?
who was the sponsor for the weekend, said he was going to do a 90-minute talk about something I don't remember. It was not that interesting, and then proceeded to play heads or tails, which is where you toss two coins, and you, as the audience, you put your hands on your head, hands on your ass, or one on each. And he did that, and we came down to myself and your lovely mother.
Oh, Rinky.
Who proceeded to jump at me and bounced off me.
Yeah, I had to stop him. I had to stop him from falling.
Fell over a chair and nearly fell on the ground. And anyway, so we went for a couple of rounds like that, and then I think she went heads, which meant I grabbed ass, and I grabbed your ass and lifted you up off the
Pretty sure my feet were on
table.
the roof.
Yeah, you were nearly upside down, and then I lost, so I dropped you. But unfortunately, there was a chair underneath, so I didn't get the full effect. I was hoping.
I'm all bent in half.
It was quite amusing. It was good fun, and then that was then we filmed TikToks that Saturday night actually.
Yes.
Quality night.
Yeah, quality night, and then up not so early on Sunday morning for day two. So day two was a little bit different. We had one big stage, 18-pointer stage,
Yeah, that was a good one.
which is always quite a crowd favourite until you're the guy that has a malfunction part way through or botches it.
Or you're the first to shoot it in the squad.
First to shoot it at all.
It's always nerve-wracking.
Yeah. But how did you guys find that 18-pointer stage, 5-minute stage, Andy?
Yeah, I really like those longer stages. You sort of got to have your shit together and have a good plan.
Did you have your shit together?
Well, part of the stage was you had to have all your shit.
I asked
So you had to carry all your shit. But
True.
I didn't have it together. I did. I feel like I had a good plan. But I really enjoy those stages where they are longer. You got to think about it. You got to count your rounds because there is a mag change. There are multiple. There are multiple ways of going about it. And I decided to, as part of it, you had to carry everything with you. So I had a tripod, and I thought, sweet, I'm going to use this tripod as a rear support for pretty much as I can. But I ran out of time because I was just stuffing around with the tripod a little bit too much. Yeah. But oh well, live and learn.
Absolutely. But how did that stage go for you?
I really enjoy those style of changes. I'm always a big fan of those big, confusing, long. But it really wasn't confusing when you actually looked at it.
Most of the confusion I see, because you've run a number of these stages up in Darwin as well,
Yeah.
and we've started seeing more and more of them.
It just takes just a few moments just to wrap your head around it, and then it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
It really was just,
usually just after you've finished. Yeah,
hopefully. Yeah, you just had to shoot at these targets, hit them, shoot at these targets, hit them, and then just shoot at these targets once each, and then shoot all the targets from the benches, and that's really the crux of it.
I think if you often break them down to like multiple little stages that join,
it was really just 4 stages conjoined.
Yeah,
It's
and
really all
if
it
you
was.
work it out like that, it's actually pretty easy to go
Yeah,
through. But
and
a lot of people don't. They're overwhelming to start with.
Yeah, and I can see if someone it was their first go, it would be overwhelming.
Well,
but
funny you mentioned that. In the original program, Travi had that down to run on Saturday, and I suggested, mate, let's change that to Sunday because you don't want to shoot your first PRS match and you're in the squad that shoots that stage first and your first shooter.
savage.
That would be
Should have done it.
let's okay, maybe Travi got that one right. But
No, that was I really enjoyed that stage.
Yeah.
Really, the only way you could have improved that is to make it look prettier.
okay,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah,
it
everything else was bang on.
The timing was good.
Yeah, 5 minutes gives you enough.
A little bit of leeway, but
gives you
It was a
enough
push,
time, but you have to be hooting to actually get
Yeah.
through that stage. It seems like 5 minutes, everything else is 90 seconds or something, or I've got plenty of time
I think
here.
it was about.
But you've got a
I think
hook.
it was still only about 15, 16 seconds per shot for the entire.
And there was a
stage.
lot more movement.
Yeah, like there was probably 20 meters left to right movement.
Yeah,
You did go
but you
back
did
and-
come back a bit.
You did
Yeah,
go back and forth a little bit,
Mm.
and but no, I really enjoyed that one. Those little ducks, they were hard to hit.
they were. Anything else on Sunday stood out for you, Andy? Apart from your
What's the rainbow one?
performance, that
Was that Saturday?
That was
That was
Saturday.
Saturday.
That was a good one, though.
That was
Yeah.
It made
Yeah.
you think a little bit. It made you think
I-
about how you'd go about it.
yeah.
I didn't because I think that had changed from when I spoke with Travi about it to when it actually got shot. I think I thought it was a barricade with ports cut in it,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it ended up being this like tank traps with beams across.
It's
it.
just a wooden fence, like
Yeah, wooden fence.
like bloody jumps for your horses.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, there was
That's
traps.
really all it was, and
Yep.
it was just like a long fence with colours painted all over.
Hmm.
Really, that's as simple as it was.
Yeah, but you had to shoot different targets from different
Yeah,
points
so
on it.
Yeah, so the way that you'd worked it out, if you went in order of nearest to farthest, you'd be going back and forth, which is made it a bit hard. But if you went
it's
left to
strategic.
right,
Yeah.
you sort of shot the first target, the second, then the last, and then the third last.
Okay.
And you just had to be mindful of that. And some people fell into that trap of trying to go nearest to farthest, and then they run out of time running back and forth to their specific spots.
Yeah, you finished that one, didn't you? You were the only one who cleaned that stage.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Well, you certainly had the highest score on it from what we looked up before.
Yeah, I cleaned that one. I remember hitting that last shot and doing a little fist bump thing, and yes, you beauty.
Nice. Well, what about some of the lessons you gentlemen learned? I mean, Butters, obviously you won, so perhaps, but there's always lessons
Always
that
lessons.
you can take from it. What stood out to you? The areas for you to work on? Humility, maybe.
No, little things like there's only a couple little things where I thought if I thought it through a little bit better, I could have maybe got a few more points. Like there was one stage in particular where there were 5 positions to choose from. You had to choose 4 of them.
Okay.
The first 3 I was happy with. My final choice I was not happy with. I should have just picked which one. Otherwise, a lot of the positions I was happy with. I was happy with a lot of the decisions I made. And perhaps the one thing I want to go back and work on is unsupported again, because I haven't done that for a little while. I used to be really confident with it, but after the weekend, my confidence is shot a little bit. So I'll revisit that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, hard to get confidence when you win.
No, you always
Speaking of
gotta-
confidence, Andy,
always
what about
gotta learn on something?
what can
Always.
you
that's
what
it.
can you improve on apart from not choking on the second day?
Yeah, well, I've got a reasonably.
To be fair, he came fourth, so we probably should clarify that out.
Yeah. Well, I do feel like I've got a pretty long list, but
Yeah.
I can recall a good 2, maybe 3 shots that I knew that I rushed and pulled, and in some of the videos you can hear me yell out, going
Grunt.
like, "Ugh, damn it." So maybe slowing down just a touch. Something else I noticed was getting familiar with my reticle again.
Okay.
Like with my holdovers, I found that I really had to count my subtensions and things like that to make sure I was on, rather than just being quick and holding and send it. And then just the way I approached a few stages, whether that was order of targets. So with that rainbow one, I chose to just go right to left, and that means I actually timed out and I missed 2 shots on the closest, easiest target. Little things like that, and then just using the wrong gear for other stages, like where I tried to use a bag and a bipod or a tripod when it should
And
have.
that'll come with
Just practice.
practice and
and that's
just getting back into the groove of things.
Yeah,
you
and
get
just
back into that.
just trying to make, sometimes the simpler way is better and easier. So instead of using a tripod and a bag, just simply a bag, like,
Absolutely.
and just have faith that it will be stable enough. And
There were a few stages that showed that quite often simple one bag was your best option.
yeah, that's it. So just a few little things to tidy up on. Other than that, I think I did all right.
Did you find going into Sunday knowing where you were sitting position wise?
Were you nervous?
Yeah, more challenging. Did that have an effect on your performance?
Well, not after like 15 beers.
But what about Saturday night?
I guess it was a shock. I definitely had it in the back of my mind, but I thought,
You were able
Yeah,
to
I'll
sort of
just
separate that
s-
out.
yeah,
and
sort
just
of put it
focus on what
aside
you're
and-
doing.
some people say I have a short attention span, so maybe that helps. So I just focus on what's in front of me and forget about what's happening.
It's a hard
Yep.
spot to be in. The only way down, the only way is down.
Yeah, because you've been there before, haven't you, Butters? You've
No, I haven't.
Bucking in 2019.
No,
you
I
were,
don't think I was leading. I might have been drawn. But
you were
I-
leading.
Was I?
Yeah,
Ash only got me by a point or so.
yeah, I know. But
It wasn't by
you were
much.
leading the night before. But okay, obviously
Honestly,
you
I
blanked
don't
it out,
remember that.
out of your mind.
Blocked out bad memories.
Interesting.
He must have drunk a lot too.
Lots of water.
Yeah, Butters would have had a beer and a half, and he would have
Done.
forgotten it.
Absolutely done.
Forgotten it completely. Oh, very good. Excellent. And what about from sort of seeing the match overall? Where do you think the sport is sitting in terms of, is there new gear on the horizon that's come out? Or you sort of think there's a broader knowledge across the various shooters?
Don't know about
What's your
so
sort of
much more
take?
gear, but definitely the level of the playing field is certainly increasing quickly.
Okay.
There's a lot of shooters that are getting towards the top.
Yeah.
You don't have those 4 or 5 blokes that are clearly out in front now. You've got X amount of blokes and ladies that are up there, and they're just getting better,
Yeah, awesome.
which is really good to see, and it makes the competition a little bit more interesting as well.
Would you say you're maybe plateauing?
Oh, absolutely. No, forever learning.
That's it,
I've,
yep.
The one thing I've always done is every single match I've gone home and gone, right, I need to work on this.
Not for sure.
And I'll go home and, every match I've gone to, I've gone home and worked on something to try and to better myself and really just to give Lucas that nudge to try and knock him off.
Yeah, I think everyone would struggle to go home and not have anything to work on. If you're at that point, then
Give up.
you're done, aren't you? Like,
Stages weren't hard enough.
yeah, that's it.
Your brother has asked if you've showered yet, by the way, Butters.
Thomas?
Yeah.
No. Not today.
Explains the
No,
smell
I
again.
did this morning.
Okay, good.
Still got Flynn's chuck on me shoulder.
Big night then.
Huge. It's tough being a 3-month-old.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. Nice.
But yeah,
Andy,
I think,
sorry, you
no,
were going to
that's
say
all
something
right.
useful.
No, I think the sport's definitely growing, and like you were saying, as more people come into it, even with just really factory stock sort of gear, it boosts everyone up.
Oh,
Like,
it's great.
you know, the field,
It's great to see.
yeah, the field of shooters can only improve.
And it's great to see a lot of those new people are coming up to the likes of yourself, me, and
Not me.
not Rusty. I was going to point at him.
Not from a shot,
and
a shooting point of
They
view.
go up to him to ask him where the toilets are.
I just pointed to Butter's car.
Oi! They're coming up and asking for advice, and they're heeding it. They're taking the advice on board, and they'll go away and they'll come back at the next match, and they'll be better shooters.
Yeah.
And it's great to see the newer people really taking that on board.
And lots of comments from you guys who were just blown away by the fact that they were, you know, the what they were calling the experienced guys, the names that they knew coming to the match, were just giving them whatever information they, you know.
Yeah, it's so good that no one just holds out. Everyone's helping.
Yep.
Everyone's helping each other, and it's great. I
Do you
love
know,
it.
you guys were talking about it before when we were at dinner, and you were talking about like how you were you were talking with Plushy about how you're both going to do a stage, and you guys are, you know, fiercely competing against each other in reality.
Yeah, it was
and
really.
you're both talking about how you're going to do a stage. Now, you executed correctly, and Plushy,
Shagged it.
yeah,
It was
completely
sorry,
ruined the plan.
Plushy, you shagged that stage, something chronic.
But I love to hear about that, where you know, guys who are competing against each other and just sharing strategies and plans. and that sort of
Because
thing.
you want to compete against those blokes who are at their best.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to be trying to better yourself against them, to compare yourself against them, try
That's
and
it.
best them.
And I think
And if
that's
yeah,
what's encouraging is seeing good shooters, but any shooters of wherever they are in the field, they want to shoot and compete against their direct competitors on their best day.
absolutely.
And if they beat them on their best day, or if they lose to them on their best day, rather than having someone, you know, fail because of their equipment failure or something, beating them because
you
of
take
that,
it,
you're like,
but you don't want it.
you take it, but you're like, it's no, I don't know if I actually beat him or beat her.
No,
or,
no,
yeah.
absolutely.
I
You
think
want
it's
to. It's more. It's more of a self accomplishment when you know that you've bettered another competitor on their best day, and it's good to see that everyone's really helping each other out, not holding back on win calls, not holding back on.
If you could actually call the wind.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots.
And like for example, that one you were talking about, Plushy and I were having
Yeah.
a yak about this post, and we're going right. And I'm going, oh, why don't we do this? And Plushy's going, boy, that's a good idea. Let's try that. Now Plushy's gone, and he shot before me. I think 2-3 shooters before me, and unfortunately he's gone and executed incorrectly and
Put the tripod on the wrong side. didn't he, or
yeah,
something?
he butchered it a little bit. And, I was fortunate enough to pull off a few more points. No, it's really good to see that everyone's just willing to help out everyone else.
Good to see.
Yeah.
Now,
It mi-
Butters, sorry.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
it
go.
might seem like I'll throw ideas out there for someone to trial a stage, but what I'm really doing is seeing how that idea goes before I shoot.
Andy with the strategy. Andy,
This is how you do it. It'll work.
oh yeah, that didn't work right. Who's the next shooter? I'll tell them what I'm.
Yeah, we'll try another
15
tactic on that.
plans.
That's it.
All right, cool. Nice. Or you just walk up to the RO. What's been working on this stage?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's a pineapple.
So speaking of pineapples, I wanted to ask you, Butters, for those who don't know, what equipment do you run?
As in gear or rifle?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause some people. I mean,
Okay. Well,
I know who you shoot for, but you know, not everyone knows the gear you shoot.
So on the weekend, I used an Accuracy International AX. I had it chambered in a 260 Remington. Which is in 140 grain ELDMs.
Yep.
And other than that, I've got the Atlas Cal bipod at the front, and I used a Schmedium, Armageddon Schmedium, with heavy fill, and then an old school tab rear bag, and that was really all the gear I used.
Yeah, nice. We're going live on different platforms at the moment. Yeah, solid, solid
So,
stuff, mate.
You actually don't need that much shit to use. It's you use what you have and get familiar with it. You don't need every bit of gear in the world. Just have, like, for instance, I used 2 different bags, one for barricade work and then one for prone and as a rear bag work.
Yep.
And that's really all I used. And obviously I had the tripod and stuff like that. But that's very specific gear sometimes. But yeah, you don't need a huge amount to do well. You just need to know how to use it.
Yeah, that's where that's cool. Speaking of which, Andy, how do you use some of your gear?
Try to.
What are you running? Give our listeners a bit of an update.
Yeah. So I'm running a Tikka TAC A1. It has been rebarreled with a Hardy barrel in 6mm Creed now.
How hard?
All the hard.
All the hard?
Well, it's hard and straight. But
But it's sped up 25 feet per second, that barrel. It's slightly faster now.
So that's pretty well the rifle. It's got an older scope on it, which still works, really, really well. I've also got a Schmedium heavy fill bag for barricade work, a pump pillow, and they will be my main pieces of equipment. Like you said, I've got the tripod and things like that as well, but the tripod for myself is more just a tool to hold my binoculars so I can spot and have somewhere to stash my bag and all my gear.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
What caliber were you running again?
6 Creed.
6 Creed. Okay.
So, which worked great. I think I was punching out the 108 Hornady at about 3,050 feet per second.
30 feet
Went
per second.
firing.
30, 50.
Not firing, punching.
Good. Excellent.
Which made my wind calls a fair bit less than a few other people, but there you go.
Yeah, nice. You guys are
Can I ask a question from, I guess, the outside point of view?
That's yes, Josh. Go for it.
If someone was to come up to you and ask you for those, because I guess there's lots of new people shooting PRS, what would your top, say, 5 pieces of equipment that you would recommend to shoot a PRS match?
Timer,
we're not
iPad, earmuffs,
Rusty,
phone,
shush.
gimbal.
We're assuming not the rifle itself, Josh.
Yeah, just pieces of equipment.
Ammo?
You need to clarify these
magazine.
points.
Okay. I'll answer this one seriously, Josh.
Be the first time ever. Sorry.
Other than your rifle
Actually, I'm
and
not.
bipod and stuff,
Trigger. Bolt.
am I allowed to punch on in a
You
podcast?
are allowed to punch on. This is the
Okay.
parkour punch up.
A barricade bag, a rear bag.
Mhm.
That's it. No, seriously, you don't need anything else.
Some data would be good.
Oh, I'm talking about gear.
Okay.
No, the thing is, you can get away with the
Yeah.
entire match with just a barricade bag. You can
Yep.
use that for obviously barricades, rear bag,
Mm-hmm.
everything. I use a barricade bag and then a smaller one for my rear bag. And you don't need everything
No.
else. You can get away with the whole match with just that 1 or 2 pieces of gear.
Yeah.
Obviously the bipod and rifle and ammo and bolt and all that sort of shit.
Scope. Yeah.
Yeah, that
But-
goes without saying.
But for accessory sort of stuff, yeah, a bag.
You don't need much.
No.
You really don't need
No.
much.
No. And really, if you feel like you want something else or you want to try something else, just ask anyone and they'll be throwing bags at you. They'll be throwing tripods at you to use.
Hard. Groin height.
All right.
We've done some videos on that. Yes.
Settle down, mate.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you knowing your gear extremely well trumps
That's
trumps
more
everything.
important. Absolutely.
And I think that finding the right gear, and that's where probably a lot of guys go through various bags, is because they're really trying to find what works well for them.
Oh, that's exactly what I've done. I've gone through so many bags, and it's just to find what works, and it does take a while, and that's why you got to recommend trying everything out. Like when you're at the range, when you're with other people, pinch their shit for 2 minutes. Just try it.
Yeah.
Ask them first.
Because most people will. I mean, if you
And,
rock up to a match, most people will.
And say, hey, can I try that? And most people will say, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've all got 15 bits of gear we don't use anymore because we've used it and then we found something that works better and it's just gone sat in the cupboard or in the bag as a backup.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of bits of gear, Andy, you and I both got new toys today.
Oh, we did.
So we may as well mention that because new gear is all exciting and neither of us know how to use it yet. So I got.
I think I know how to use a scope.
Okay, what did you get then?
Oh, right. Oh, straight on to me then.
Yeah, straight onto you. Well, you started talking.
Is it on here? No, it's on here. What did I buy?
Do you know you?
I got a Viper PST. Yeah, 3 to 15. I'm going to be throwing that onto my 22.
Didn't you say 2 to 3?
2 to 3 for the short term, but eventually
okay.
my 22.
That's going to go on your 20.
Yep.
22 eventually. Okay, cool. And I got a set of Vortex Fury 5000 laser rangefinders with applied ballistics.
Ooh.
So we shall see how they go. But they're stiff. Oh, there we go. Good. I can tell that you are.
There you go, Andy.
What button do I use?
Got batteries? Does it come with batteries?
It's got batteries.
Yeah.
You are currently too close for me to range, which is probably fair enough.
Give me a look.
Need to focus them.
Yeah, you got to throw them. And it comes with a bag.
Comes with a bag as well,
Fantastic.
which is good. But anyway, these ones here are apparently good out to 5,000 yards, but they've got the applied ballistics on there, so they have the data solver or the data set up on
Fantastic.
there, which I have not set up at all. I just brought them home tonight, so
You've not tested them at all yet?
Not in the slightest. I've got a few guys who have tested them, and the results have been very promising. A couple of guys at the club.
To know how they would go on targets and stuff, because there was some on the weekend that struggled to get some of those little targets.
I think from a ranging point of view, these have been around for a number of years,
Okay.
and they have performed extremely well from what I've seen. But I'm looking forward to actually running my own set. So that's my little toy to play with for a little while. We'll see how we go. We'll use them for the next 22 match. That'll be good. So yeah. Sounds
fantastic.
Sounds good.
Birchie says the AB binos are really good, man.
There you go. Well, he's a man that would know because he actually tests his gear and uses it. And
knows his shit, old Birchie.
Birchie from Low Vis Gear.
Is catch up with him, give him man cuddles.
Yeah. Did you? You were in Melbourne. You didn't see him.
I
didn't have time.
I didn't have time. I was pushing shit uphill just to get out to Leeton.
I only got enough chance to give Danny from Delta some cuddles.
Yeah, and a bit of a gobby.
Is that where the spew came from? Andy
owes Danny a few.
Okay, good.
It's just our currency.
Yes. Yeah, fair enough.
Only from Andy, though.
Right. What are we on? What are we talking about?
Well,
I'm lost. That's all right. So what's Buddy, you're heading back to Darwin. What is in your shooting future? What's the next thing on the agenda for you?
Saturday, Anzac Day shoot.
Yeah, right.
I'm hoping to get back Friday evening at this stage, and then on Saturday we've got our Anzac shoot, which is basically sporting rifle and the old military surplus rifle. So I got me 303, and obviously I use my AX for the sporting rifle.
Yep.
And it's simple. It's 200 yards. You do 5 standing, 5 kneeling or sitting, and then 5 prone. And for sporting, and then the 303 or your military surplus, get a bit bigger targets. You only got iron sights, and nice and simple. And then there's a rapid fire shoot, which is always fun. It's as many rounds as you can get off in 30 seconds.
Yeah, right. What's your record?
14, I think.
Seems pretty quick.
That actually counted.
Yep.
With the AX, one day I said, no, I'm not going to do this to score. I just want to see how many I can get off. And I loaded, put one in the chamber, which we were permitted to do.
You're allowed to do, yep.
Full mag. And we could start with the bolt closed. I was on target, and I got 21 shots off on target in 30 seconds.
Wow. And then a rebarrel.
It was only 50. It was with my barrel after the finale.
Right.
But no, I really enjoy those matches. They're low key. They're fun, and usually we have about 10 to 15 blokes all just doing a serial at once, and it all gets added up at the end of the day, and it's good fun. It's nice and casual, and just a good shoot, especially to get a good excuse to get the old 303 out. Yeah, so that's my next one. I'm not sure when our next prac rifle match is. I'm sure we've got one in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Good.
What about you two?
What about you, Andy? What are you? Obviously, Mildura's on your agenda.
No,
You're not shooting
I
with you. That's
can't
right.
make
You've
it to
got a
Mildura.
wedding or something on.
No, not this time.
Wedding match.
Family holiday up to Queensland.
Okay.
Got a brother up there and a few other friends, and their birthdays are roughly around the same time, so we thought we'll mosey up there.
Good.
Next big match for me will be in Darwin.
All right.
So
Yep.
I'll be moseying up there.
We got some plans for that, but we'll talk about that another time. That
Yep.
should be good fun.
I kind of want to fly down just to join you on those plans.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for some more exciting things. But what about next actual match? When is we got a club match end of May, don't we?
Yes,
Yes,
I believe so.
we do.
So my next ones will just be our local matches.
We've got to shoot our rimfire challenge against each other
That's it.
to clean guns.
So you better run me through this challenge.
Okay. Well, what we had planned is basically whoever won out of the two of us would
Not
have to who would get their guns cleaned by the other person. There was 4 guns
External or
on them.
barrel?
Yes.
Both.
Yes. And so
Have we got a handicap?
this is my question now, given Andy's finish.
You got to make this shit interesting. There needs to be a handicap.
yeah.
That's
but
right.
you see my
You
previous.
you need to beat him. We know you're going to beat him.
Yeah, that's right. It's
How much do you need to beat him by?
I didn't even ask.
Oh, we
Butters to do
need
this.
to lock
This is so good.
We need to lock this in
This is
now.
bullshit.
No, this is great.
No.
70%
I-
of your.
I think-
Have I still got that? Can you,
Oh yeah,
Josh? Just start pressing buttons on the on that Roadcaster. Try that yellow one. No, not that one. No. Okay. Oh, that's right. This is the new Roadcaster. Taylor's got the Roadcaster with the right one on it. Anyway, we just ruined all your plans.
we can reenact it though.
30%.
Yeah. No, wait.
Okay, great. Perfect.
So I think it should be based off how I went in my last rimfire match because it's
No.
very much rifle dependent and
No.
my rifle shit.
No.
I'm pretty sure there's evidence now that you just said 30%.
Nah.
There is. Play that on loop.
What's-
Play that on loop.
What happens if I get within that?
You're not even in the
World
discussion.
freeze
Get off
over.
here. Well, you can clean everyone's gun if you beat us.
So, what's the match out of?
I don't know
Why not?
because it hasn't been. I don't know who's running it. I don't even know.
No, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Out of 100% is what it's out of. 100%.
Punch on him in a
I do not know.
I'll pay
I'm
for
sorry.
that.
No, do you know if it's going to be like 50, 60?
They're normally about 50 to 80
Yeah.
rounds. Yeah,
Okay.
something
Do you
along
want me
those
to throw a
lines.
number out for you?
I do.
12.
Okay, Andy, do you want to throw a number out?
What do you reckon you'll score in the match? I don't know, just generic. What do you usually score in a rimfire match?
Oh, pretty.
No,
pretty
don't ask
poorly.
that. What did you
pretty poorly in a
recent
rimfire match.
in recent matches? What have you scored?
Wait, is Plushy shooting?
No,
doesn't
forget about
matter.
Plushy.
Forget him.
If the match
He's
is out of
useless anyway.
60, what do you think you'll get?
Oh, I'll get mid 40s, I reckon.
Mid 40s, so let's say 45. What would you get?
10,
Bullshit.
maybe 25.
Okay. 15 points.
You've got to beat me by 15 points.
Or 15 points or more,
Mm.
and you are the victor.
Mm.
But
Mm.
if this bloke somehow pulls a cork out of his butt and gets within 14 points of you,
I'll film that. Oh,
Please,
he's
please.
right. The shooting
Please
bit.
don't.
Okay, sorry.
I reckon that's fair income.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
I reckon we should go on percentages rather than actual points because we don't have any control over the match. Having said
what's
that, I'm
14 what's
just messaging the match
15?
director now.
well, that's 25% of a 60-round match.
Okay, that's what you're talking about?
25%. That's close to your 30% you're talking about.
Yeah, I was talking 30% of. Anyway, 70%.
30% of his score.
Of his score. Yeah.
Jesus.
So there's basically, we've wasted the last 3, 5, 10 minutes.
Yep.
Let's go with 70%.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad someone is.
Because last time we did 70%, I just scraped through by like a shot.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
sounds fair income then.
So let's roll with that. And Andy's back in form. That's my point. Is Andy's back in form? We're going 70% of your score.
Be in your scope.
Let's find out. I'm just looking up who the match director is for that particular match, and we have
Is
got.
it me?
Oh dear.
Nick Minutes.
Oh, this is Joel Rinaldi.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. This is the
Fill
guy.
me in.
Okay, Joel Rinaldi. If you remember at the match on the weekend, he won the rimfire stage, and he's the bloke I poured water all over when he got announced as the winner. Do you remember that, Butters?
No.
Do you remember? No, anyway, so Joel won the side match.
I knew he won.
Yeah. And just before I knew who'd won because I'd looked at the results prior, and as Travi was announcing them, I stood behind him and he had a big bottle of water there. And I'm like, oh, Joel, I'm really thirsty. Can I grab a drink? He's like, yeah, no worries, mate. Help yourself. So I had a couple of sips,
Rookie
standing
mistake.
behind him. A rookie mistake. And as I said, and in first place on 40-something seconds or something, Joel Rinaldi smashed his hat off and just poured water, a full bottle on him.
So what you're
And he
saying
took
is
it.
he'll want payback.
He'll want payback.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of unsupported.
So there's going to be a whole stack of stuff that Andy's really good at and a whole stack of stuff that I'm... So probably just shooting, actually.
So 30%.
All right, 70% done,
All right.
Andy. Shake on
Good.
that one.
That's it.
There we go. And so,
Oi.
yeah, there you go. So you guys won't be shooting against each other for a little while then,
No.
because I was gonna
Little
say,
River,
hey, you
maybe.
guys should have a shoot off.
Yeah.
But
There'll be Little River in August.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna
I'll
be the
we'll
one.
try to get it. No, the side match on Friday.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure exactly.
Oh,
but
Darwin,
It's not going to be a 22.
it is.
Maybe there might be 2 shots for 22, but there's going to be more than the 22.
Cool.
We'll have a crack at it.
See what's going on. All right, sounds very
Don't know
exciting.
Just sounds
Well,
sketchy.
before we actually know, let's maybe not commit to too many percentages involved. But sounds good. There's some good ribs in Darwin. Maybe whoever loses has to buy ribs.
Where?
Anyway, you
Apparently,
live
you know
there.
how to make them.
Apparently, you're not up to speed. You didn't come with. Oh no, you didn't. You were
No,
too-
I was busy doing match director shit.
No, it's on the Monday.
Actually
afterwards.
working. Packing up.
Packing up, yeah, fair enough. Excellent. All right, guys. Well, I think we're probably about ready to wrap up there. Josh, you got anything else to add?
Yeah, I'm good.
But
After that delay.
Good input, Josh.
That was worthwhile asking. Very good. Well, gents,
Oh,
one.
we have one question
Oh, yeah.
quickly from Brad.
Yeah.
Andy, how do you like the tuna?
Oh, yeah. You're going to talk about that more. Let's,
Oh, righto.
let's quiz
Just to
you about
clarify,
how
the
is
barrel tuna.
how is
barrel tuna.
the
Kind
barrel
of
tuna?
touched on it right at the start.
Yeah, we just
I was going to say I
it's a
usually go John
cliffhanger.
West.
it's a cliffhanger.
Oh no, just cut it. End of stream.
No, come on, tell us about your tuna.
No, I mean I have played with it a little bit. I haven't done extensive, like 10 or 15 groups. But I did notice when my barrel had sped up, my groups opened up, and I just did maybe 4 or 5 groups on the Friday before the match. Played,
This is the one we talked about earlier.
played with the tuna, and you could see it come back in. So yeah, I do think it does work, and it's got some value, especially in those sort of conditions. Or if I was to go up to Darwin and I've got my loads are shooting quicker or slower or whatever, I can sort of play with them there.
That'll
Yeah,
be quicker.
definitely.
Definitely
Most
quicker.
likely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's got a bit of merit.
I'd be really interested to see how it goes on at 22. Just like your standard like CZ shooting CCIs. I'd be really interested to see if it could make a difference.
Yeah, no, I reckon it would. So, I think it's got some value, and like to be honest, I probably won't play with it very much. I'll find something that shoots, and that's probably where it will sit for the remainder of the barrel life, for the most part. But yeah,
I think you'll get in someone like that sort of scenario when you go up to Darwin, you will play with it a little bit,
Yeah,
to see
that's it.
see what you can get out of it. So
anyway.
talking about the tuna though. Okay. Someone, come on, Butters. Come on, keep up. Yeah, sounds good. We'll stay up to tune with your up to date with your tuna. Stay up to tune. That's not a word. Anyway,
stay tuned to the tuna.
stay tuned. Stay tuned to the tuna. Well, there's the episode name. Let's wrap that, Josh.
Jesus.
Thanks for listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast. To continue the discussion, check out our Facebook page. And for more information, head to our website, www.precisionshootingpodcast.com.au. This episode was brought to you by Impact Dynamics.